Hello and welcome to another video looking at what the Bible teaches us about anxiety. Is anxiety linked to the manner in which we think ourselves greater than we are? Do we go it alone and fail miserably because we think we can achieve great things without the daily, hourly need for God in our lives? Do we live our lives in true acknowledgement of the fact that we are sheep, lost without our shepherd? If I asked you to choose an animal that represents you, what would you choose? A lion? A bear? A tiger? A sheep? In Genesis 2:7 we read, "Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being." One of the earliest verses in the Bible then tells us that man was made of dust. God literally took dust from the ground and breathed life into it. In the book of James, chapter 3, verse 14, we read, "Why, you do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes." Here, the brother of Jesus calls us mist. Thirdly, in John 10:11, Jesus tells the Pharisees, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep." Jesus is our shepherd, and we are his sheep. There are numerous examples in the Bible of this sheep-shepherd metaphor. See Psalm 100 for another example. So let's put these three images together and look for a combined message. What can we learn from being labelled as mist, dust, and sheep? One thing we can learn for sure is what we are not. We are not lightning, mountain, and lion. We're mist, dust, and sheep. We are not all-powerful, knowing, and dominant. We are weak, transitory, and when compared to God, infinitely powerless. We need to make sure then we don't have an inflated view of ourselves. These verses are important. In my own life, I have a tendency to try and run the show myself. I make all of the decisions, I try to work everything out, but the reality is that I need to realize my lowly position and rely more fully on God to lead me. And if I did that, would I possibly experience less anxiety? In a 2015 sermon titled Reconciliation, Tim Keller said, quote, "Excessive worry comes when you think you're absolutely sure exactly what has to happen and you're afraid God won't get it right." End quote. This is what happens when we think we are the lion, the shepherd, and the lightning. An overinflated sense of our importance leads us to think we know best about everything and to worry that God, who does not understand as well as we do, is not going to give us what we know we need. The Keller sermon was based on Genesis 50, 12-21. Joseph, having been thrown into a well and sold as a slave by his brothers, is promoted by God to governor of Egypt. His brothers come face to face with him many years later and are afraid that Joseph will seek revenge. Joseph's words are a challenge to all of us who suffer with anxiety. "Don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Here we see something so important. God is in control. He has a plan for us, and his plan cannot be ruined by man. Even when man does something to harm us, God can turn it around for good. But this leaves us with two key questions to consider. Question 1, do we trust God's plan for our lives? And question 2, do we believe that God can work that plan out no matter what life throws at us? Joseph exemplifies both, and we can draw closer to the same trust if we meditate on God's power and our lack of it, if we meditate on God as shepherd and us as sheep, dust and mist. Now this is very different to having low self-esteem, and I'll go into that in the next video, so please do subscribe to the channel and leave a comment if you found this useful.